Let's have a look at importing into Lightroom. Now when a new catalogue is created, as we've got one here, I've just created a brand new catalogue, then Lightroom has no images showing because Lightroom only sees images that are in its catalogue. And at the moment, although there are images on the computer, Lightroom hasn't got any of them in its catalogue, so it can't see them. Now I just want to make it clear here that Lightroom does not contain your images. It doesn't like hoover them up and keep them to itself. All it does is it creates a thumbnail and then a connection to your image wherever it may be. It could be on your hard drive, it could be on an external drive. It doesn't matter. So the first part of the import process is to connect your camera or card reader to the computer. Now Lightroom may launch the import dialog automatically. If it doesn't, then you have a couple of options. You can click the import button, which is down here, or we can go up to the file menu and select import photos and videos. Or if you're a keyboard junkie, there's Control Shift and I, or Command Shift and I if you're on a Mac. And I'll click that and that'll open up the Lightroom import dialog. Let's start here on the left hand side. Now here you can see all the devices that are connected to my computer. So Bootcamp C, that's my hard drive. I've got a Seagate expansion drive, that's my external drive. And you see if I click this little disclosure triangle, it'll show you exactly what's on that. So I'll just close that up again. But the one I'm interested in is this EOS Digital, and this is my camera that I've connected via a card reader. So I can click on that to open up and try and find the source of the images. And they're in a DCIM folder, so I'll open that up. And they're actually in a folder called 100 EOS 5D. And here they are. Here's the 11 photos that are on that memory card. Okay, we can now, by looking in the middle here, if we've got some that are particularly bad, they're blurry, they're not sharp, they're underexposed, whatever, we can untick them and then they will not be imported. I'll tick that back again because I do want this importing. Down at the bottom here on the toolbar, we've got a couple of view options. We can view as grid view, which it is at the moment, or we can view an image in loop view. We can check all the images, which is put tick marks in all of them, or we can uncheck them all if we just wanted to be selective and say, well, I don't want any, but I just want this one. Okay, well, I'll check them all again because I want them all to be brought in. We've got a sort option down here. We can sort by capture time and check state and file name and media type. And with a little thumbnail slider, which we can make the thumbnails bigger or smaller with. Okay, let me just close that up. We'll start at the top. So going down this right hand side, the first panel is the file handling. Now, basically build previews, you've got some options. I will normally leave that as standard. Build smart previews, well, for this exercise, no, I'm just going to leave that unticked. Don't import suspected duplicates. Yes, I would have that ticked because if I use the same memory card over and over again, then I don't want to be importing the same images over and over again. There's make a second copy to. Well, yes, I would have that ticked. And then by clicking on this little down arrow here, you can navigate to wherever you want to have a backup. So you can do a backup at exactly the same time as you're doing an import. And then there's add to collection. Do I want to add it to a collection? Well, at this point, no, not on import. So I'll just close that up. That's file handling sorted. Then we've got file renaming. Do you want to rename the files when they come in? Well, in this case, if you didn't, you could untick that and it would keep the file names from your camera. But let's imagine we do. So I'm going to click rename files. I can click from some templates here. There's a little drop down box. Now the most popular one, and the one I like, is custom name and sequence. This opens up my custom text box, so I can add a custom name. So I want these to be called lighting. and then I want a start number, and I've just typed the start number 1. Extensions, I'm just going to leave that as it is. And you can see here that we've got a sample of what it's going to look like. It's going to be lighting -1, lighting -2, lighting -3, etc, etc. Okay, so we've got the file renaming set up, and then apply during import. Well, here we've got develop settings, and we can get access to all the develop settings that we've got on the computer. But it's generally unlikely because you can't be selective. You've got to apply a develop setting to every image as it imports. So maybe if it was a sharpening one, you could do that. If you wanted to make every single one black and white, you could add a black and white preset, but you couldn't add a sharpening to one and a black and white to another, if you see what I mean. So I generally leave that set to none. Metadata, what metadata do I want importing? Well, I've got some standard metadata templates set up. So I'll have my standard 2016, I haven't got this year's yet. And then any keywords. So, okay, let's think about some keywords. I'll say, well, this is a lighting. Oh, I'm practicing with my new lights. So that's apply during import. And then the important one really is destination. And it's important to keep your eye on this. Now, this is where the images are going to go. Now, I like my images to go into my pictures folder first as a root folder. So I'm going to click on that first just to make it live, like that. So this says, right, whatever's going to happen now, it's going to go into the pictures folder. So you've just got to navigate to it. Now up at the top here, in my pictures folder, I want to create a subfolder. So I'm going to put a tick here, and that's going to create me a subfolder. And I'll call that one lighting. In the organize section, I want to organize it into one folder. You can do by date or original folders, but the by date one, if you've got multiple dates on your camera card, it can cause a lot of confusion because each one will come through as a separate input, a separate date. So you can end up with a lot of folders. Okay, I think we're about ready. And if we look down here now, we'll see in my pictures folders, down here there's a folder that's greyed out because, well, there's nothing in it yet, called lighting, and that's the one that we've specified up here in the into subfolder. So we've got the pictures folder and a subfolder called lighting. And that's about it. I think we're ready to rock. And you can see down here that I could, if I wanted, create these folders on my external drives as well. But I'm just going to put this on my computer for this exercise. And once all that's done, we click the import button. And you'll see here we return back to the library module. My images are being imported. You can see up here it's building standard previews for me. They're all done. And now on my boot camp, which is my hard drive on the computer, I've now got a folder called lighting, and in it these are the 11 images. Ooh, I forgot to mention something. I'll just go back to the import dialog, and so in the middle here we've got what do we want to do with these images, and if they're raw files or JPEGs, we can copy them. If you wanted to convert them as part of the import process, you could copy them as a DNG. You'll see here now that these images are now greyed out because Lightroom is saying, well, you've already got them, so it won't allow me to import them again because they're already there. It says I've already got them. Okay, I'll just cancel out of that. And that's it. That's the end of our little journey into importing photographs from a camera or card reader into Lightroom. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, or subscribe, and share this video with a friend or two. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.